No matter how fast you run, no matter how far you go, the beast will follow. Man cannot escape his fate. Hercules. Your name is a rallying cry. We all know your legend. You're the son of Zeus.
I only want to be a husband and a father.
Welcome home, my love.
You cannot deny what you are. The gods will punish you for it.
The gods that killed your family have unleashed hell on Earth. They are the descendants of Hades. They cannot be killed by an ordinary mortal.
The people need you.
I am no hero.
A man with a cause can be stronger than a god.
We get some rules to follow.
Take revenge for your family. Save these people. And restore order to this world.
Do we die in this battle?
My time's not come yet. Not sure about yours.
We will fight for you. And we will die for you.
Have faith in yourself. Now, tell me, who are you? I am Hercules!
So, as you might have noticed, they changed the title font for the film, which I think was an important and necessary change, because that was one of the few things that undercut Hercules in its first trailer. That cheesy font, and also, sadly to say, some of The Rock's acting. And that I'm only growing more concerned about The Rock's role here as I see the second trailer, because you see a lot of talking from Ian McShane and John Hurt, who, by the way, in my defense, I got them mixed up in the first trailer. I said that's John Hurt's narration, it was actually Ian McShane. You guys were right. But then here they're both talking, and it's really hard to tell them apart. They sound very similar. So that's pretty nice to Ian McShane, who, while awesome, I think is very rarely compared to an acting legend like John Hurt. But they are in the same movie, so I guess everything shakes out in the end. But anyway, they're spending so much time with Ian McShane and John Hurt talking that I'm also thinking they might be doing all the acting in this movie, which is a little bit worrisome because I have to say, I think that Dwayne Johnson's a pretty solid actor. Maybe he's not at the level of Ian McShane and John Hurt, but I've always enjoyed his work, and I think he's really gung-ho about approaching roles. Now, I'm sure you can point to some of his movies and they're not great, but that's for every actor, and I think in every single instance, though, Dwayne Johnson tried very hard. He's not like one of these athletes turned, like Shaquille O'Neal and Steele. I think Dwayne Johnson has a lot more credibility than that. I think he's certainly proven himself at this point. However, might he have bitten off more than he could chew here? We'll see. This movie aims very high, and I think on some levels it's reaching the mark. I'm very impressed with Brett Ratner's work here. Just like I said in the first trailer, I think that he seems to have drawn heavy influence from Frank Frazetta's artwork. Famous comic book artist for, John Carter of Mars in particular, and I think that John Carter of Mars would have benefited from having that visual style. I liked John Carter of Mars, but I think maybe that would have gotten more people into the theater. And I think, based on the online interest for this movie, while people are, to some degree, laughing at it a little bit, I still think we're all going to go because it looks very good. I like the scope, I like the epicness, I think this trailer, some people said they thought the trailer showed too much. I don't think that it does. I think and also it seems to be showing that they are going along with the Hercules myth, at least to some degree. They might be making some allowances for who kills who. I don't want to give away some important aspects of the Hercules myth, but at the same time, I guess they want to make sure that Dwayne Johnson's character is likable. But it looks very good to me. I like the mythological aspects to it. I think that it has that grandeur, and I think it just looks really good to me. I know some of you think this looks stupid, but I'm still on board. I believe in it, and let's just see if they can pull this together. Brett Ratner, it would be great that he could kind of redeem himself with a movie like this. It's been a long time. He's been working a long time in Hollywood. He's kind of reinvented himself, actually, as a finance man. He does a lot of film financing through his company these days, his new company, but he's still behind the camera. And, I think we should never close the door on a talent. If they're willing to redeem themselves and do the homework necessary and try and turn in a film that is what fans want and deserve, well then why should we discourage them? Wouldn't it be great if every director tried to redeem themselves? But we know that Dwayne Johnson believes in this project, and I just hope that it doesn't end up embarrassing him to some degree, where he just kind of is like a giant meat puppet while Ian McShane and John Hurt just do all the acting around him in circles. I think Dwayne Johnson deserves better than that. These fight scenes look amazing. I can't wait to see them, and just the visuals. I hope the story is as good as the visuals. We'll see. But I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and certainly try it out in theaters. In 3D, I want to see that Hydra coming right at me. I love the green that pops out when he's wading through that swamp. That was a new visual aspect, for instance, along with a lot of the establishing shots of the cityscape and the arenas that they were showing here. But the thing that had the biggest impression on me was that green, the way it just popped, and it was almost unreal. It was beautiful. It was fantasy. This is a fantasy movie, and I love it. I think that's great, and it gives it a little bit of a difference from 300, so that it, again, we talk about familiarity versus a twist to make it new. This is familiar enough for people to say, hey, I like the 300 movies, but yet it has new aspects like these great visuals that are more fantasy, and Dwayne Johnson in the lead role, to make you go, okay, well, maybe I'll try this. It isn't just a ripoff of 300. It's something new because of those new elements. So write down below what you think. Does this trailer kind of move you more in the right direction towards a positive perspective of this film? Or do you think the title change, the font change, just isn't enough? Are you still concerned? And also, do you care if Dwayne Johnson does any acting, or do you think Ian McShane and John Hurt can bear the load? All right, write your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for tuning into my review, and you can check out some more episodes right now.